Jane Fonda tape, thank goodness we had a beta VHS. Pop that sucker in and I would knock that stuff out.
You were one of 6 kids. Your dad, a military officer who actually once fought Ken Norton, said you used to tell your 3 older brothers, quote, "One day I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to be famous." What were you thinking then?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just got tired of them picking on me, so I figured if I said that, they would leave me alone and hopefully be nice so that if I do become that way, I can do a favor for them.
And picking on you, they did.
Yeah,
They used
and
to
they
call you
picked
Bob.
on me. They picked on me endlessly. They picked on me. Their friends picked on me. I'm the youngest of 6. So I look back now and I think, what else could I have expected? I should have expected it now. But it was...
What did that nickname?
Bob.
Yeah.
Nickname was Bob. Bob meant booty on back. Yeah, great nickname. I mean, I was a chunky kid. I didn't play any sports. I played football when we were in North Carolina when I was 7 and 8. Then once we moved to Germany, that kind of phased out. And I just ate until I was Bob. And that gave me the motivation and that like sparked something inside of me to change myself. You know, to change. At that point, as much as it was physical, it was also mental as well, because still to this day I kind of see the Bob, and that's why I continue to work out and I continue to push myself.
What do you mean you still?
I still see the big booty on the back, man. I'm still that how you say big bone kid, and I always feel like in my head I'm always fighting that. But I look back and I think that it was also a moment that changed my life, because had I not been told by one of my brother's friends what Bob meant, I thought it was cool at first. I got a nickname from my brothers and their older friends. If I didn't know what Bob meant, I don't think it would have made me start pushing myself and working out. I mean, I bought the Jane Fonda tapes, started doing Jane Fonda tapes, and Herschel Walker was University of Georgia. So I started watching him play, and then he wrote a book. And I started doing the Herschel Walker workout book. He came to Germany, into Heidelberg, the next town over, when I was 13. Went to see him at a photo op for Kodak. You know, I had a picture with him when I was 13 years old. And those are the things I was like, that's what he did, and look at him. He did push-ups and sit-ups. I can do that. I don't have to go to the gym. I don't need equipment. Jane Fonda tape, thank goodness we had a beta VHS. Pop that sucker in and I would knock that stuff out. And eventually you stick with something long enough, you start to see results. And my father, after about 6, 7, 8 months of that, watching me do stuff in front of the television, said, I want to work out with you. We're going to work out together. And he really got me, you know, started on everything.
And I think you guys were going for 5:30 a.m. Morning runs.
Yeah,
you and
man,
your dad.
I didn't like
and
that much.
Although you subsequently ended up coming back to Germany to graduate high school,
Yeah.
your class of 2, which you point out you weren't the valedictorian.
With ladies first.
Yeah.
Julie Johnson.
Yeah.
She was first in class, I was second in class. I was number 2 in my class.
But you, for at least a temporary time, went to the States to attend high school. How difficult was that for you?
That was hard. That was one of the hardest things. Probably harder or as hard as my first year at college, to leave my family, my parents and my brothers, to go stay with an uncle in Houston. It was difficult because at that point, I felt more like I was European than I felt American. I remember getting off the plane, and all you hear about at that point when you were in Germany was the U.S. is bad. They have so much drugs and drugs and drugs. And I get off the plane, and I'm in the car with my uncle going to his house, and I see the drugstore, and it had drugs, a big sign. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really bad. They were even putting up signs advertising the drugs here. It was a drugstore. But I was that naive. I had no idea. I was so green. And I go to a high school, and I think I've tried to block out a lot of high school. I don't remember much.
High school in the States?
Yeah, I don't remember much of it because my whole focus, I'm here. My dad said I could play football and I could get a scholarship. He believes in me. I can't let him down. And so I was so focused on just making it through school, hopefully getting this scholarship. And if I could do that, then I knew I could go back to Germany and I could graduate high school there. And that was my focus. So after 6 months, 5 months, it happened.